I was planning a little bit of Rifts Adventure action lately and thought I'd throw on the camera and maybe go through this on screen, making a Palladium Rifts Adventure. I like to plan, I like to make processes to help my brain keep moving while creating and daydreaming about adventures. I've come up with a couple different methods. I have these sheets, these forms that I created. Here's one, just a bigger size here, example here, where I plan out your different factions for each adventure. Your neutral factions or your antagonists would go here. I always try to start with listing the tropes that I want to incorporate into this adventure. That gets my brain going a bit. And then sometimes I'll start with PC goals. If we've got an ongoing game, it's nice to just keep tracking these along. If there's a dangling thread from the last adventure, something like a long-term goal often gets put there. And then these are factions. You can download these sheets if these are of interest to you. Link is in the description as usual. And then down here is kind of encounter matrix is what I call it. These are, each one of these I can list up to 8 encounters per adventure. The idea being one sheet handles your entire adventure. So there'd be up to 8 encounters for each adventure, and then I like to have a list of player characters here, up to 6 of those I can track. And for each encounter, the idea is, thanks to the Rifts game, your characters are so, let's say, unbalanced. You can have a glitter boy, a giant robot killing machine, and then some guy who's like a hacker in the same party. So you have to, it forces a game master. It is a little bit harder, but for me, this is the hardest system to write adventures for. So you got to be a little more a little more efficient and careful the way you plan your encounters. For instance, here I've got a Cyber Knight, a Crazy, a Leland Walker, and a Burster. Anybody who's played before knows what those characters are capable of. So for each encounter, I try to specifically have something, a challenge for each character. They'll be very different, obviously, depending on the character, and have to come up with a bit of a justification for why it's singling out the character that matches it. Often takes care of itself. The biggest, nastiest baddie will go for the biggest, toughest looking PC. In that case, no big deal. And yeah, on the bottom of this form, I always like to throw in something whimsical into the adventure, something that's maybe comedic relief, or something that's just random or strange or awe-inspiring. Not awe-inspiring, but wondrous, I guess would be the word. And a twist. I like to have a reminder here, at least. You don't always have to do it, but yeah, it's nice to have a bit of a twist or a foreshadowing for the next adventure, perhaps. Just a reminder to myself to, come up with something, whether it gets played through or not, it's there. These are kind of almost like a faction clock. It's hard to see there, but gee, I can barely read it. Let me see if I can get, anyways, the top portion is what they have, the kind of the treasure or what they possess. Underneath is their goal or their, it's kind of like the clock, I guess, the timer in this case. This is oh shoot, it's been so long since I've used this. Here's the barrier. This is what they want to overcome, and this is what they want in this section. And then you have clocks around the outside. You can track how close they are to getting their defeating their barrier and getting what they want. And then up here there's a couple lines you can sort of see where you can list their location, if they're location specific, and any constraints there. Anyways, that's that sheet. Here's my old one. I won't go over this one. I haven't really used this one more than once. I used to like to start with PC skills or abilities. I just look through the character sheets and just list a few random things that I wanted to highlight, or that I wanted to bring up this adventure, and often that got me going. I got the brain juices, the creative juices flowing, and I could start writing adventures that way. And then from there I would go up to here. These are basically resources, wants and has. I just list a bunch of wants and goals and resources that are already controlled, and then each of these blocks would be each entity and each faction that will come up in the adventure. And then you connect the dots. Basically, you put a line. The town, for instance, this is for Rifts as well. Here was a town. Their motive was they didn't want the coalition states to step in to take over the town. Their timer was before the equinox. What they have was they control a location of the rift. The town is built basically on a rift. What they want was to exterminate the insectoid nest and to close the rift, because people didn't actually use magic, and the rift was just spawning monsters. And then as you start fleshing out your different factions and organizations, they start fighting for resources and things, and that is kind of like your conflict map for running the game. That's kind of my two sheets for procedurally helping my brain write the adventures. I do have a third method, which I think I'm going to use tonight. They're not exclusive. Sometimes I transpose one onto the other, depending. But tonight I'm going to use my index card method. I've been finding I really like. This may be my favorite. I don't know, maybe not. It doesn't have as good a prompt. Having the sheets to fill out is a nice way to prompt your brain, but index cards method is, I like these because they're kind of bite-sized ideas. Sometimes ideas come to me in very disparate ways. I get an idea for a scene, or just a cool location, or just a bad guy, and this allows me to just fill that out and then file it away and use it for later to string an adventure together from. The idea here is that each color holds a different type of piece of your adventure. These are for just general constraints. Any details, maybe I'll do that last. You write your neutral entities, third-party entities, ones that could become allies or may become enemies. You're not sure at the start of the adventure. They're neutral at the start. You'd fill out a blue card for them. In many of my adventures, that is for Rifts, anyways. That's just the coalition. They're just always out there, and they're kind of a wild card. If they see the group and the group contains DBs, they may just try to exterminate you. Depending on the situation, they may try to help you. You never know. The green is for, I better just actually check my legend. The how-to, my procedure and method for using index cards has also been written into a document. You can download that if interested. I'm just using my original written notes. The green cards are to stat out allies in the adventure. The red cards are obviously going to be the bad guys. That's the big bad evil guy for the adventure. The yellow card is for the loot or the reward or the goal, and the white card is for everything else. I use a lot more of these. For instance, when in order to get to the bad guy, there will be constraints in the way. Perhaps, let's just keep it simple, the bad guy's lair. Stat out the bad guy here, and then we'll take a white card, and that's record a constraint or an obstacle, and that will be his lair. His lair, they got to get through the lair. They got to almost kind of fight the lair, because that will be working against them. And these go on. These can stack up, certainly. Several different obstacles or problems, complications to the scenario. And these also I use to just kind of just a scene overview, which is, in a way, every scene should have some obstacles and complications, so same thing. Anyhow, all that blibbity blab, we're 10 minutes in and I haven't started writing an adventure. I just have some basic ideas I just wanted to record tonight and get written down. First off, I was took a stroll down through the Rifts Bestiary. I love this book. And my eyes fell upon this Agenor river serpent. Here's a cool picture of a Northern Gun hunter platform, I think it's called. This giant robot wading up to its chest through water, and underneath is this 20 to 30 foot long eel snake thing, which then just leaps up out of the water and attacks him. That's great. Yeah, so I want to use one of these things, possibly actually more than one, because my characters, my group of characters here, consist of a glitter boy. And a glitter boy single-handedly could probably splat one of these things fairly quick if he got a good shot off. Now, I am planning to have more than one, and they will be in water, so he's gonna have to wade into the water. Glitter boy, we've got a crazy. We've got a he's a corporal. He's a coalition technical officer. We've got Vinny the Burster, and the fifth character in the group is Jimmy Keys, who is a city rat. He's a rogue. Basically, I sunk all his points into lockpicking and stealth stuff, infiltration. So very different power levels there. Obviously, Glitter Boy and a street rat in the same group with a burster and a crazy and a tech officer. So this thing is 30 feet long. And okay, so let's just go through this. I wanted to make some changes. It says 20 to 24 feet long, should be able to take care. Yeah. Okay. They are only the MDC on these suckers. I'm going to go for the biggest one. That would be about 180. About 180 MDC. Now, the Glitter Boy suit had 770 or something like that. So, yeah, he can deal with that pretty quickly. He can do, the Glitter Boy can do 3d6 times 10 damage each shot. Okay, so we're gonna have to level the playing field here a little bit. So first of all, let's write down, let's just record this, the main bad guy. The point of the adventure is to defeat this thing, I think, is what we're gonna go with. Let's just record him for now. We can add complications on top once we start getting the basics down. Agenor River Serpent. Okay, I'm not sure how many there will be yet. There will probably be more than one. Okay, and now that takes care of the bad guy. Let's grab a complication. It's gonna take place, okay, this thing can be splatted pretty quick. I want it to be, it's really fast in the water, so I want the fight to be in the water. I'm gonna put dam. Yeah, dam shallows. Okay, so, okay, this should be interesting. So I think the complication here is this thing, these things are terrorizing the town's dam, perhaps. They're just killing anything that comes near. These things can slither up onto land and go up to 20 miles inland. That's terrifying. These things are massive. So they're just killing, eating anybody and anything that comes near. And they're living, I guess, in the dam, in the shallows. Okay. And I am going to have to make some modifications to its damage. Right away, I noticed it has a few different attacks, which are pretty cool. It's got a headbutt. and a... Okay, so its bite is 5d6 mega damage, which ain't bad. Not bad at all. It has a constriction attack, yes. But it takes 3 attacks. It takes 3 attacks to constrict somebody. I want to change that. I want to make it so it takes one attack to grapple somebody. Victim can dodge as usual. And once he gets them, he can... okay, according to this, it can constrict for some damage. I want the constriction to be free action. So I'm gonna make a note of that right here. Free constriction damage each turn. So this thing is going to its method of attack is going to be to wrap around things immediately and constrict. And I picture the glitter boy. I'm just gonna swarm the glitter boy and wrap him up, and then every turn I can be dealing him 3d6 plus 2 mega damage. So that's not a lot to a glitter boy, but if I can get one wrapped around his gun, he can't shoot that one at least, and that'll keep him tied up, and he'll just watch his suit just slowly being crushed. That's expensive to fix. So that'll be fun. He'll be tied up dealing with that one. That'll be kind of fun. It'll be constricting him and probably biting him and biting the gun, or maybe biting a nearby comrade. This is going to be great. I can already see the fun. So the dam shallows, the complication here, and this is the scene. The dam shallows has, I want it to be, okay, let me think now. I need to challenge the other characters who obviously will not be in the water duking it out with this thing. The city rat and the coalition technical officer. I want them to be trying to perhaps figure out, okay, they're trying to open the dam. They need to open the dam, and that will flush these things. Perhaps it's really been built up. They haven't been able to get close enough to the dam to control the dam to open it up or anything, so it's kind of backed up perhaps. Maybe it's not so shallow anymore, actually. So they open the dam to flush them downstream. That'd be pretty cool if they could flush them downstream. Maybe that'd be good enough. Anyways, okay, so the challenge here I want is for the specifically I want the corporal there, the technical officer, so I'll write his name, Wayne, to figure out how to operate the dam at the right time. So this will have to be teamwork, and Jimmy Keys will have to, of course, break them in. Jimmy Keys will have to infiltrate somehow. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure about how we're gonna go about that, but we've got it recorded. We've got the basic ideas. So we're gonna keep the glitter boy busy hand-to-hand brawling with one of these things, at least. He can punch at it if it's wrapping him up. Wayne and Jimmy Keys can be trying to get into the dam to get on some tech, to, operate some tech. Who do we have left here? We have Vinny the Burster and Hank the Crazy, who aren't necessarily busy. Hank may be in there just duking it out as well in the water. If he's in a suit, he'll be fine. He can breathe for several hours as life support. So that may be good enough to challenge him. Let's put these over here. All right, I've got it figured out now. They need to open the dam to, not to flush them out, but to drain it. And if these things are stranded on dry land, so is shallows, shallow water around the dam, if they drain it, they can drain it. If they can drain it quickly, these things will be on land. They lose an attack per turn, and they are slightly weakened. That will allow then, okay, make a note of this. I'm going to alter the creature to be a little bit susceptible to fire, vulnerable to fire damage. And okay, then once if they can drain that dam, then we've got Vinny, the Burster, who can then start doing his magic and mopping these suckers up. Let's go with 3. Let's say there's 3 Agenor serpents. That'll keep them busy. I hope that's not too much. I can always have one maybe flee. I've always got the contingency plan as game master here. If I've got too many and the combat starts, as soon as one gets hurt, it may flee. If I'm seeing that it's 4 or 3 is going to be too many, I think 3 will be fine. Maybe 4 would be best bet. 180, yeah, I could have different sized ones too. 200, yeah, no, we'll just go with 3 for now. So anyways, that's how we get started. I do not have yet a yellow a treasure or a goal or a reward for this yet, and I don't have a neutral third party yet. This is just the one scene of the adventure, so we'll fill these things out as we go. Stay tuned for more on this. We'll build out this adventure maybe one video at a time. It's already been 20 minutes. Time to cut this out. Palladium Rifts Adventure design. Roll on.